Consider for a moment certain details about the launch of Sputnik by the Russians, the first man-made satellite to orbit the Earth. The satellite had a mass of 184 pounds. It was launched in the 1950s using a rocket equipped with side boosters, having a total mass of 270 tons, mostly fuel, and developing a thrust of 880,000 pounds. Sputnik achieved and remained in a 130-mile orbit for 3 months. Now consider the following thought experiment. What would you expect it to take to launch Sputnik from the surface of the moon? The gravitational force on the moon is often quoted as 1/6 that of the Earth. Hence, one would expect a rocket 1/6 the size of that used by the Russians to launch Sputnik from the Earth, right? One would expect a rocket with a mass of 45 tons, mostly fuel, and developing a thrust of approximately 145,000 pounds. Now, look at this photo of the launch of Apollo 17 from the surface of the moon to allow the astronauts to rendezvous with their orbiter craft. This ascent stage had a dry, no-fuel mass of 4,800 pounds, including astronauts, 26 times more massive than Sputnik. The rocket engine was part of the ascent stage. It was claimed to carry approximately 5,000 pounds of fuel for a total mass of 10,000 pounds, or 5 tons. Does this ascent stage even look large enough to contain 5,000 pounds of fuel? Here's a photo of a rocket that contains 10,000 pounds of fuel. It's the German V2. See the size of the people compared to the rocket? Now, look at an Apollo lander. And the ascent stage is only the top part. Does that little thing really look like it has enough room for 2 men, a rocket engine, and 5,000 pounds of fuel? Well, never mind. So ask yourself, if it would take a rocket with side boosters having a total mass of 45 tons to launch the 184-pound Sputnik from the surface of the moon, does this photo of the launch of the ascent stage of Apollo 17 having a dry mass of 2.5 tons, but only 2.5 tons of fuel, seem possible? Of course, this is only a thought experiment that ignores many factors. For example, due to technological advances between the 1950s and 1970s, the propulsion produced by the fuel in Apollo 17's ascent stage may have been more efficient than that used by the Russians to launch Sputnik. I don't really know. Still, remember that in those years, the Russians were considered ahead of us in rocket technology. Comments to this video have been turned off. The purpose of this video is to encourage you to think this out for yourself, not to provide a platform for trading personal insults.